Assalamu alaikum everyone, just about to kick off the second show now. We've got Councillor Aikhlaq in the studios talking about the excellent initiative that is increasing the uptake of the vaccination across East Birmingham, which we'll just shortly talk about. Thank you. Some of the queues today on that Washreath Road, just amazing.
I know. I was in and out of there virtually all day, and I had a meeting in town. Just carried on.
Okay.
Just come out. I didn't think I was going to make it. I thought, should I find it? You know what the traffic's like.
Yeah.
Landed off in Erdington.
Okay, it was with you.
He left his car there.
रोवेगी मुकद्दरां नूं हीरे मेरिए जे हीरियां दे हाथ जे यार खो गया
No, I'm good, thank you. Okay, without further ado, let's kick off the show. Thank you for tuning into the second half of my show, which is all about the community well-being. We have Councillor Aikhlaq in the studio because we wanted him to come in and talk about an excellent initiative that has been launched on the car park of the Ward End Library on Washreath Road, opposite Ward End Park. And here it was all about the increasing the vaccination uptake around East Birmingham, which has, as you can imagine, a high percentage of the BAME community, and notoriously not only have we been disproportionately affected by coronavirus, but also at the same time inextricably our uptake of the coronavirus uptake has been 20% less within the Pakistani community, but as much as 30% more less in the black community as well. So just before I introduce and bring in Councillor Aikhlaq, I'd like to share with you the latest corona cases within Birmingham. As you know, with the Indian variant, the cases are starting to rise once more. So the latest data that we have, there has been an increase of 79 cases that were positive compared to the week previous. And these are the following a number of wards that are surrounding where our studio is that have high cases of corona per 100,000 population, starting with Bromford and Hodgill, which has 60 positive cases per 100,000 population, followed by Small Heath, which has 52, and then Ward End and Alum Rock, which we are just adjacent to, both have 51 respectively as well. So we've also know that the Indian variant is 50 to 70% more transmissible than the normal sort of coronavirus. However, the great success story that is the vaccination program continues to go from strength to strength. So at the moment, there is a staggering 26 million people in this country that have had both doses now, that are fully vaccinated and have roughly 95% immunity. And there are 40 million people that have had at least one dose as well. However, as I alluded to, we have a significant deficit between the overall UK population and maybe poor, deprived inner city areas like East Birmingham. So first of all, thank you, Councillor Aikhlaq, for coming into the studios as well. So just to sort of touch on that, really, excellent initiative. When I saw the pictures and the notice from last week that there was going to be a Pacific hub at the Ward End Park, I was really, thrilled by that. So just maybe sort of share with the listeners and viewers, how did that come about and what was the rationale or the thought process of having that Pacific hub, as well as, the walk-in centre and the GPs doing their normal vaccination?
Thank you. First of all, can I thank Radio Awaaz and yourself for inviting me. As you know, it's very busy, and I've suffered with COVID myself. A long COVID, may I say, 4.5 months actually staying indoors. So I know what it's like. About 3 months ago, when the cases were really high, and they were really high in the eastern side of Birmingham, and the uptake, it's improved, but by all means, 3 months ago, it was really
about
poor.
30-35%.
Yeah, it was really poor.
Yeah.
We got emails asking if we got anywhere suitable to administer the vaccination. So as soon as I got the email, I sent it off to Paulette and Dr. Barney and saying, look, you know, we need it in Ward End. They said, you know, anywhere suitable. I suggested 2 places, which was the Ward End Park car park, or the library. I'd like to thank Salima Ayub.
Fantastic.
He said, you know, he manages the Ward End Library, and he was absolutely fantastic. He said, and then when I went today, we went just before 9:30, just before it started, myself and Councillor Majid Mahmood, and the queue was. We was really surprised. I didn't think anybody would be there before 9:30, but there was a huge queue just before 9 o'clock. And then I'd like to thank the masjid, which is
one just a couple of doors away.
Couple of doors away from the dentist. I managed to phone them and asked if we could use their car park. And they were absolutely fantastic. You know, I thought it was locked. They said, look, there's 2 pins either side, just take it up. And so that was great on behalf of the community.
Sure.
The initiative, I'm afraid there's still not enough take up. Because I had a meeting in town and I had to be there for 3:15. I went just gone 2:30, and we exceeded the 250 that they were planning. Now, I'd like to encourage every individual over 18 who has not had their vaccination. This vaccination is for health reasons and health reasons only.
Sure.
So I've got a neighbour of mine who's invited his mother over from Pakistan.
Sure.
So she hasn't got a GP. She's not registered. She hasn't got an NHS number. She can still have the vaccination.
Fantastic.
You know, it's to protect us. So it doesn't matter what background you come from, you know, where you're from, whether you've got a GP or not. It's really, really important that we must get every person vaccinated. Now, with the Indian variant, there already talk of in Parliament about the easing of the lockdown on the 21st of June.
Which is going to be delayed, I think.
Which should be delayed. I think the only thing that's going to get us out of this is the vaccination.
Absolutely.
And everybody's probably noticed, even with the Indian variant, we're around 3,000 to 4,000 infections per day. But if you look at the death rate, that's gone down. I mean, yesterday,
and that's because of the vaccination, isn't it?
There was one person who actually died testing positive in the last 24 hours.
And 0 today, by the way.
0 today. There you go.
0 today.
There you go. So I think for our community, for people of Alum Rock, Bromford and Notchill, Small Heath, Heartlands, I think we should take advantage. Absolutely. And the reason why they're only administrating Pfizer is because of some reluctancy from the community on the AstraZeneca, because of the blood clots or the complications. But that's why if you come down between the hours of 9:30 and 3:30 until Saturday the 5th, if the take-up is high, there's no reason why we can't extend it.
Oh wow, that's great news.
You know, I've spoken to all the staff, all the people, all the volunteers. You know, there are volunteers there who've actually come to help. So they went through this 250 pretty quick. So, you know, if there's a need for it, and if people, and I would encourage everyone to actually come forward. If you haven't had your vaccination, please do come down from 9:30 to 3:30, even 3:30. If people turn up, they will not be turned away.
So whoever's in that queue, they will be administered a...
Yes, they definitely will. And initially there was what they said this morning was we'd administer 250 people, but now what they've said is whoever turns up will get vaccinated. And if they need to extend it from the initial 5 days from Saturday.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see what the take-up's like. I'm going to be there virtually every day, you know, popping in, popping out, making sure and promoting it. And thanks to Radio Awaaz for actually promoting this.
No, when I saw the pictures today, I was very thrilled, and I thought that's something that we want to promote. And for those people that have that hesitancy for one reason or another, because as you know, social media has a very powerful conviction for those people that maybe hesitant and weren't sort of convinced by it. When they hear people or when they see stuff on social media, they do take it as gospel. It doesn't help with the fact that there were very minute. There were just a couple of cases of people developing blood clots compared to 1 million population, and because of those, people got into their heads that they're not going to take it, and you got to always look at the benefits versus the risk as well. So, and then at the same time, people were talking about it not being halal. People were talking about that it affects the fertility, and then the wider conspiracy. And people do sort of think that and absorb that, thinking that we're not going to take it. And you're right. Unless we all get vaccinated and play our part, then we aren't going to have normality. We are going to come out of these lockdowns, and we will continue to have these, surge. We're going to be in and out of lockdown, and that's no way to live life.
No, because I've had the long COVID.
Yeah,
I think the people who've actually been through this is different. We've lost a lot of loved ones since it started. I mean, I caught it March last year.
Yeah. When you came from Pakistan, I believe.
Well, I caught it on the plane from Dubai. But we've lost a lot of good community ambassadors, and anything we can do to protect the community, we need to do that. Definitely, we need to do that. We need to get. It's not just about the youngsters.
No,
we've got to look after our elders. They are the pillars of our community, and they're disappearing, Ali. And it's not very nice.
We live in sort of multi-generational, overcrowded houses. So for example, if I was living with 8, 9, and I'm young, thinking I don't need it because I'm young, I'm relatively fit. But if you were to contract coronavirus, you are inevitably going to go home, passing on someone who may be shielding or vulnerable, or maybe have underlying health risks. So we are all connected. We don't live in isolation or in silos. So please, this is all a civic and Islamic responsibility as well, that we all have to be vaccinated as well.
I was talking to somebody yesterday and today, and we take it lightly, and you look at people not wearing face masks, not social distancing, and there was a guy who took a taxi 2-3 days ago.
Sure.
And he went to the shop he was working at, and he tested positive. No, he never tested positive. The taxi driver was notified by track and trace, saying he's been in contact with somebody with coronavirus symptoms. He had to quarantine for 10 days. And the other guy, he went for a test and he was positive. Now, the uncertainty on this, the effect, is not just about being ill. The guy who was quarantined, a taxi driver, his mother-in-law was seriously ill in Pakistan. He couldn't travel. May Allah grant her Jannah she passed away yesterday. He couldn't be there. The family couldn't be there. This is the sort of impact this coronavirus is having on our community, because we've still got loved ones, back home. So I mean, you look at the flights, the quarantine, and countries being in the red list, and some people have to go. It's not a matter of being on holiday.
That's right.
Some people have to travel, and it's a great burden on these people to pay that much. So the sooner we get vaccinated, they've opened it to anybody over 18.
Just going to read some of the comments if I can, Councillor.
Sure.
Assalamu alaikum by Ali, assalamu alaikum by Aikhlaq. Very good program. Assalamu alaikum to all. Very informative topic. great work. Thank you. Javed Iqbal from Homeless Heroes. Assalamu alaikum, Ali Bhai and brother Aikhlaq. Wa alaikum salam. Muhammad Ishfaq. What named vaccine is it? I think I mentioned it was the Pfizer vaccine, simply because I think the AZ has been labelled wrongly so that it has the extra incidents of blood clotting, and people don't want to take that at all. So I think that's just the reason why. And there's not much difference between the Pfizer or the AstraZeneca, and our plea is that wherever you get either or, just take it. But in this particular initiative, it is the Pfizer one. Assalamu alaikum, Tahir Mahmood. Wa alaikum salam. Is it only one injection or two? So overall, it is 2 injections, but on this particular day when you go, it will be just the 1 injection. They aren't able to give you both at the same time, which I'm sure you understand.
Can I just interrupt you? Sorry about that. Because the GPs and the doctors are there. Yeah. So it's recorded. So it's regardless, once you've had that one, the second one, wherever it is administered, now they're saying between 8 to 12 weeks gap. So it'll be on your record saying you've had the first one, you've had the Pfizer, because they've got to put the serial numbers and everything on. So, hopefully if the take-up is really, really good, there's no reason why we can't have, in 8, 12 weeks time, another one of these initiatives.
No, absolutely. So I will be in the queue at some point in the next day or two as well. So I've not had my vaccine, so I will be queuing up over the next day. I've been waiting for this, just didn't want mine during the month of Ramadan. So this is the perfect initiative for me to sort of take part in as well. And our plea is that, look, at the moment, we are sort of 25% below where the overall UK population is. I'm talking about as a Pakistani community. I'm talking about also if you're from a BAME community or from a black background as well. Please, some of the misinformation that is going into overdrive, less so now, but certainly about 2 months ago, that's still effect there. We've had 1 or 2 people that I've just met in the last hour or two who just blatantly said that we are not taking the vaccine because of the misinformation and the rumor mill. So it's our job to, as people are in authority, whether you're a counsellor, whether you're an imam, whether you've got any sort of responsibility, use your platform to get that message out there. And it is slowly sinking in. We're not that far away, but we've still got a bit more to go as well. So we're coming to the end of the show now, Councillor Aikhlaq. If you can maybe just give a sort of a final concluding remark, really, for those people that may be sitting on the fence, they're not sure as to whether they should or not. Why should they come and wait in the queue to get themselves the Pfizer vaccine tomorrow or the day after until Saturday?
First of all, don't listen to myths. Talk to the professionals. On Islamic terms, talk to your imams. They will guide you on Hadith and Quran. On the professionalism side, talk to your GPs. Absolutely. Talk to the people who know. So, my advice is, if you have not had your vaccine, please come down. You've got from tomorrow to Saturday and we can extend the hours if the uptake
demand is there.
If the demand is there, I will make sure that we extend the time limit, and we can extend the days. I will be there until Saturday, popping in and out.
Administering the injection. Yes.
No, I don't think, just encouraging people, phone your friends, phone your relatives, anybody who has not had the vaccination, please do come down and save lives, save your loved ones, save yourselves from this, pandemic that's actually killing our society.
Absolutely well said, Councillor Aikhlaq. Just last question I think it's worth addressing. He goes, does this cause any problems like flu? All I will say is, Muhammad Ishfaq, we are not healthcare professionals. Do seek advice. And it differs from person to person. We all have, we're all made up differently. Our demographics, our age, our characteristics are different. So there's not one person who's had the same symptom as the other. So, just, do your civic duty, get vaccinated, and whatever symptoms there are, it is only for a short period, maybe 24 hours, and most people are taking a paracetamol, and that seems to subside any symptoms that may be prevalent as well. So a real huge thank you to Councillor Aikhlaq for coming in and sharing this excellent initiative within East Birmingham, in particular Ward End, Hodge Hill, Alum Rock and Shard End and Glebe, which is all within a surrounding travelling commuting area. And so for those of you who haven't or were thinking about it, it's on your doorstep. You don't have to go anywhere. Just queue up without an appointment from 9:30 till 3:30 and you will be vaccinated, and that means that you're halfway there from being fully 95% covered as well. So on that note, it may be worth actually sort of if you can keep Radio Awaaz informed about any extension in terms of hours, or whether it's even going to go into next week as well, because I'm sure our listeners and viewers will want to know.
Yeah, and just for the record, in case people I can't see the comments, I've had both my jabs, and I've had Pfizer, and I had my second one in February.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Because the vulnerability and because of age and everything. So if people start asking, have you had yours? Yes, I've had both of mine.
Yeah. And maybe what just 30 seconds, Mr. Badshah, is just when you took it, in terms of side effect symptoms, did you feel anything?
I felt same as I would when I have my flu injection every year.
Yeah.
No different to the flu injection. Slight pain for a day where the injection is. Other than that, I had no side effects whatsoever.
That's fine. Well, there you go. You got it from the horse's mouth, really. Apart from, you have your travel vaccination or your normal sort of school vaccinations. That's sort of feeling where there's a bit of a pain, obviously, at the injection site, and maybe a bit of a temperature. Apart from that, nothing really that's going to sort of really affect you. But like I said, everyone's different. I've had also comments from people where they've not experienced anything at all. So there we are. So please do take your loved ones, yourselves, your family to the Ward End Library, and Mr. Aikhlaq, Salim, and many others will be there to make you feel welcome. And sometimes
Councillor Majid Mahmood has been promoting it. For the last few days.
Majid as well did a Facebook Live as well. That's which I saw as well. And so all in all, it's a great initiative, and for the BSOS CCG, Dr. Justin Vani, who really put a lot of resources into it, it'd be foolish for us not to take advantage of it. Until next week, please look after yourselves and each other, and please continue to wear your face mask and do your 2-meter covering as well. Allah Hafiz, take care and look after yourselves and each other.